Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Napoleon and today we're back with another free-to-play guide for Enlisted. And in this case, we're going to be doing the Allies Pacific or the Americans, or to be exact, even more exact, the United States Marine Corps. But that said, this video has been made for the friends at Discord, meaning you haven't liked, subscribed, or joined Discord. I highly suggest that you do, and let's get started with the video. At level 1, you start out with, once again, your Rifleman Squad, your Sniper Squads, and your Tank Squad, or exactly the M13 MGMC. Thing to note here is that the Rifleman Squad is actually pretty good. The Springfield base rifle is pretty good. The sights, a lot of people don't like them. I personally actually do like them compared to the Japanese rifles, so that's a plus. The MGMC, M13, SPAA, or tank, in this case, it's pretty good. It's way better than actually any Japanese TASA tank, so deploy this thing. It's a very good thing. Really highly suggest that you deploy it. And the last one, we have the Sniper Squad, the Springfield M1903. Really highly suggest that you use this. The scope on this is actually the best in the Pacific. As if you wanted to go a sniper run, deploy this American sniper rifle. It's really good. With that said, that is your base weapons. Once again, a really good start to your base weapons. But let's get started with level 2. For level 2, you get the M50 Rising for the level 2 Mega Squad. Would I use the M50 Rising? No. Is it better than your next unlock, which is the Grease Gun? Yes, you use this thing over the Grease Gun. You will actually thank me for it. But that said, moving on to level 2, you have the Enfield P14. Why would you get this over the Springfield? I don't know. It doesn't have a bayonet, which is probably the most important thing in the Pacific, but it does come with the Engineer Squad, so I highly suggest that you get the Engineer Squad. The Enfield P14 has pretty good sights, better than the Springfield, but I would still not use the Enfield over a Springfield. But that's personal preference. If you like to have a bayonet, go for it. Level 4, you have the Marine Attack Squadron 231, basically the ones at holding the Cactus Airfield, the SOC-1 Seagull. Is it worth it? Yes. Should you deploy it over the M13? Depends on you, really. The M13 GMC is really good, so yeah, still deploy the tank. Level 5, the 27th Infantry Division, 106th Infantry Regiment, the Boys Anti-Tank Rifle. Really depends on you. Americans, I feel like, don't really need an anti-tank gun, so don't deploy it. It's not worth it. Level 6, like I said, the MG Grease Gun. Don't deploy it. It's worthless. It's pretty much worthless. Level 7 is a big game changer for the Americans, and I'm not even exaggerating. You get the Browning 1918. M1918. With the 9th Marine Regiment with a machine gunner squad. Yes, this thing is gonna mow down Japanese before you even touch them. Would I get this? Yes, really deploy it. The Browning M1918, get it, and just put it in all of your squads, basically. Deploy the machine gun squad, of course, is really useful, and yeah, that's that. Level 8, 2-inch mortar, useless. Level 9, M2A4. Seriously, this thing has 4 machine guns. Actually, no, take it back. 5 machine guns, of which, yes, 2 machine guns are literally in the hull, so it's going to be hard, and 1 machine gun is mobile, 2 machine guns are mobile, so that's pretty good. 3 machine guns that are mobile, 2 are stuck in the hull. Would I use this thing? Yes. It's basically a walking machine gun. The gun itself can take out tanks. I personally use the machine guns against infantry, and that is way more effective. As a matter of fact, in some cases, the machine guns can rip through tanks, depending on where you shoot them. But level 9, yes, get the M2A4. This is not even funny at this point how overpowered this thing is. But yes. Level 10 is the Radio Operator Squad with the M1 Carbine. M1 Carbine is okay. I rather still prefer the Springfield because it has the range. But the Radio Operator Squad you will be using until the late game, so yeah, that's that. Level 11, the Browning Auto 5. As of right now, my entire setup for level 11 is pretty much bring any assault weapon and put it in your medic squad and call it a day. Browning Auto 5, I would not use this, but just put it in your squad. As of right now, my setup is pretty much 30 cal Thompsons because I got that for a event. But is that worth it? Is the Browning Auto 5 worth it in my opinion? Yeah, sure, but I'll still, if for a free-to-play player, I'll still bring out the Browning M1918. That thing is way more deadlier than anything you're gonna get. So level 11 Browning Auto 5 depends on you. Level 12, the F2A3 Buffalo, would I use it? Yeah, it's pretty good plane, honestly. 100 kilogram bomb, 200 kilogram bombs, 4 Browning 12.7 machine guns, that's insanity. Would I use it? Sadly, no. It's good, but it's not as good as the M2A4. That thing is absolutely terrifying. Level 13, you have the M1 Grand. This is basically going to be your base rifle until the late game, and even till the late game, that is a choice up to you because you have the Pedersen and the M1 Grand. Would I prefer the M1 Grand over the Pedersen? Yes, it has a bayonet, 8 rounds, 12.7 magazine, pretty good, and 303 shots per minute. Basically the M1 Grand of every game that you played. M1 Grand, I'll pick up the M1 Grand, max it out, and give it to pretty much every dude. Level 14, you have the 208th Infantry Regiment with the Flamethrower. Would I get this? Yes. I will put this, replace the medic squad with the Flamethrower, if it was not for level 15. Now, this is a trick. Level 14 and level 15 are kind of similar. Level 15, you get the 22nd Marine Regiment, the Owens Mark 1. Would I get the Owens and put it in my squad? Yes. Both of these are pretty good squads, the level 14 and level 15. Which one would I prefer the most? Sadly, it has to be the Assaulter Squad with the Owens Mark 1. Owens Mark 1 is basically a Thompson. It has slightly less damage, but damn, this thing is impressive. Very impressive. Highly suggest that you get it. It can basically destroy any Japanese machine gun that it gets its hands on, even the Type 100, which is amazing. After that, we have level 16. We have the Dauntless. Pretty good plane. SBD-3. Yeah, the 1,000 kilogram bomb and 100 kilogram bomb are insanity against anything that hits. So get it, and but once again the question is it better than the M2A4? Once again, I'm sorry to say, Dauntless M2A4 is way better, unless you are fighting against something that you really cannot take out and you want to fly. Then yes, get the SBD-3 Dauntless. A good thing about the SBD-3 Dauntless is the thing that it can actually dogfight against Japanese planes. Of course, not against the Zero, but against pretty much any other Japanese plane. It can dogfight, and considering the fact that it has a backwards machine gunner, that's pretty impressive. So yeah, once again, the question is M2A4 versus a Dauntless. Once again, get the M2A4. It's in your lineup if you have only one vehicle slot, but that's that. Level 17, you have the Springfield M1903 with a grenade launcher. Highly suggest that you get this thing, and that's that. Level 18, Springfield M1903A4, useless compared to M1903A1. Why? Because this scope is pretty bad. Just gonna be honest with you. The scope is pretty bad, and honestly, I will not bring a 25 Reconnaissance Company, the Snipers, Rifleman number 2 for the Americans at level 17, maybe. I will not put it in my squad, but I'll give the Rifleman the grenade launcher. Level 19, you have the FP3, and once again, I would still take a Dauntless over this thing. Level 20, the Browning M1918A2. Oh my god, I'll just take this gun and just give it to essentially everyone I can get my hands on. And considering the fact that you have the Owens, the Browning, and essentially anything else, this thing is terrifying. And the Grand, and this thing, your entire lineup is already very terrifying. Level 21 M1 Bazooka, that once again, like I said, the Americans really don't need an anti-tank rifle. Their tanks can just blow everything up to shreds, so that's going to be interesting. And the Japanese tanks are not that great, just to be honest. So M1 Bazooka, not really needed. Yeah. Level 22, the Johnson M1941. Like with all campaigns, the Americans get the Johnson at the end. And would I get this thing over the Grand? No, it has 2 extra rounds, but does not have a bayonet, which is a big problem for me. So, personal preference is, I do not like the Johnson M1941, and I'm pretty much very good with the Grand now, so yeah, no. So, that's that. Don't really like the Johnson. Not saying the Johnson is a bad rifle or anything, but I just don't really like it. The Engineer Squad is cool, but I already don't use the Engineer Squads by now, because basically by now, level 22, you should have at least 1 Engineer in every one of your squads. If you don't, you're doing something wrong. I'm gonna be honest. Level 23, you have the 6th Tank Battalion, and this time you have, I kid you, M3 Stuart. It's basically, in terms of a lot of things, a downgrade to the M2A4, considering the fact that the M2A4 has 5 Browning machine guns. This thing has 2. And is it worth it? Yes, it has more armor than the M2A4, but if you're good enough with the tank, I'd still suggest that you technically go for the M2A4, but M3 is an upgrade. It really depends on you at this point. Would I use it? Yeah, I think I'll go with the M3 Stuart, but once again, if you want to have guns blazing Browning machine guns, and by the way, just saying, this tank does not take any of the machine guns away from the important places. The M2A4 only has 2 machine guns in the hull, which they're basically stuck. but the M3 basically takes all the important places in which the machine gun and just puts it there, and that is what you're really going to need. So is it really worth it? Yeah, in my opinion, yeah, it's really worth it. The M3 Stuart. Level 24, you get a game changer once again. M2 Flamethrower, really good weapon, really deadly weapon, really good for the Flamethrower. It can just spew out fire, and that's beyond terrifying. Level 25, you get a game changer, and that's the M1A1 Thompson. Would I get this and put it in every one of my squads? The answer is 100% yes. So get the M1A1 Thompson, you have the Assault at level 3, get that, upgrade that, so that's pretty good. Level 24, level 25, Flamethrower, Thompson, yeah, pretty deadly combo. Level 26, Johnson Light Machine Gun. I personally don't really like the Johnson Machine Gun compared to the Browning M1918A2, but that's personal preference. If you guys like it, go for it. I personally just like the old-fashioned Browning machine guns, so that's that. And the stats are pretty much similar, so that's that. The sights for me are issue for the Johnson, but really depends on the person that's using it, and if you like the size, if you like the Johnson, I highly suggest that you get it. Level 27, you have the AT number 2, Bazooka number 9, really not interested because, once again, the Americans don't suffer with tanks like the Japanese do, so Bazooka is not really important. Level 28, you have an even bigger game changer, and that is the Stuart with the Flamethrower. It takes one machine gun away in the hull, which, once again, that place is not really useful. And brings out a Flamethrower. Is that really useful? Yes, this thing is beyond useful. The M3 already has an armor upgrade. No, well, not compared to the original M3. The armor exactly the same compared to the M2A4. It has an armor upgrade, 2 machine guns in the most important places, one in the cockpit and one in the turret. So that's going to be really interesting. And a Flamethrower. So this thing is already heated up and it has a 37mm M6 cannon. So yes, would I be getting this? Yes. I don't know what the devs were thinking. M3 Stuart with a Flamethrower, why are you giving this? And when the Japanese are basically in a big shamble compared to tanks. Historically, that is the case, but still, M3 Flamethrower with M3 Stuart with a Flamethrower, get it, put it in your lineup. You really will be needing this. Level 29 is technically a joke. Throw this thing out, unless you really have, like, Sniper Squad or something. The M1C Grand, honestly, I'll never be using this thing. It does have a 2.5x scope, which is interesting, but I would not use the thing compared to other sniper rifles, namely the Springfield M1903A3. The reason is simply because the A3, really good scope. Yeah, 8x scope, you can yeet people across the map, and that's the point of a sniper rifle. But that's that, guys. That's all for Allies Pacific. This is a really good lineup. And that said, guys, this is all it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next one.